listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alun Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morgan.
I just got that out of the way.
Yeah.
We like to establish the time of day very early on in the show.
Yeah.
But now that's done. Can I tell you something before we go to the outside world?
Sure.
It's a music station where music matters.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was, consequently, as part of my presentorial research, I was watching I think they're called the MTV EMA Awards.
Oh.
Which is...
I love that you know that.
Yeah. I only knew it because it was like, they kept saying it.
Okay.
What do they stand for, EMA? Have we got that?
European Music Awards.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
right? Yeah, it's not as tricky as it might
Can
sound.
I just say...
What does MTV stand for? Music Television?
I think it does.
Yeah, well, when does
one?
television
Well
have two letters like that?
Good point.
Anyway.
Nice argument to have with yourself.
Yeah, I used to watch, I don't know if I've told you this before, but I used to watch MTV in blocks of about 8 or 9 hours when it first came out. Oh man, I used to so love
It is
it.
a bit. Yeah,
So
right.
depressing.
Right, well, I
Man
live
with your lively mind.
I used to live very near to a KFC.
Stop
So
boasting. Stop boasting.
It was just perfect. Anyway, I haven't watched it for a while, and so the awards. You can imagine there's lots of people coming on.
Yeah.
Who've got awards for you can't imagine what. Anyway, they were all very nice. And then Janet Jackson won like a Lifetime Achievement. I sort of forgot she existed.
So whatever happened to
I
Janet
sort of
Jackson?
think they're all dead once Michael goes.
Yeah.
But no,
Heavens to
still
bets.
working apparently. And she has now become... that's what she won. She won something with the word icon in it. It's always good. And the bloke, the presenter, kissed her, and she looked horrified. I mean,
Really?
oh wow! You know when you kiss a 5-volt, is it a 5-volt or a 9-volt battery?
Yeah.
When you get that, if you touch the negative and the positive, you get like a shock. It was like that.
Yeah.
I thought this bloke he's kissed an icon.
When you say this bloke, was it like Justin Bieber or something?
No, I don't know who he... I didn't know who he was. He looked like a colourful character. But anyway, she then did people now don't... It used to be like, thank you, and then they talk about they're activists now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're all activists.
Yeah.
So she's talking about some,
Issue.
I think hers was how people dispose of fridges.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Big speech about that.
Yeah.
And where's all the fun gone out of it? Keep your activism for the meetings.
Yeah.
Anyway, she did that. And then it said after the break, it's me and Kath are watching it. Kath is my partner. We're both maybe a bit old, to be honest, for the EMA Awards. I don't think she's as old as Janet Jackson. Very hard to tell with Janet Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
She looked... her face had got a slight Casper the Friendly Ghost, a slightly transparent element to it. Anyway, it said after the break, Marshmallow will be on. So Kat said to me, wouldn't it be brilliant if a bloke came on and his head was just an enormous marshmallow? So we was laughing about it. So comes back... And there he is, a bloke whose head's just an enormous marshmallow.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like the most...
Bit of light relief.
Oh, it was great. Because Kath had said it, and we'd laugh like when we first went out. We laughed about the ridiculousness if such a thing was to happen. And then there he was. Big white. Well, he was white on the night. I don't know if he has a pink one.
Oh, he didn't go pink.
All right.
He might have a pink one for maybe it does like even the Britney used to do a costume change. Maybe
he's got
come on,
Pink one for when he comes back off his holidays.
yeah.
This is Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Frank, on the...
I think we're getting to the bottom, aren't we, of the Janet Jackson mystery? We know who kissed her now.
Oh, yes, it was Jason Derulo.
Of course.
OK, you a fan of his?
I've never...
JD, I call him.
I respect these people for gaining some status, but I don't know.
He's very sort of man who owns a villa in Ibiza. OK.
Oh, really?
Is he?
Yeah.
And what about Marshmallow? Is he doing well?
Well, very well.
Is he?
Worth millions, Marshmallow.
Would you have known him before?
I knew who he was when I saw...
Okay.
I've got to be honest, when you said that, though, I'd seen him with the black marks on his marshmallow head.
Well, he has to have a face on it.
Yeah, but make an
I think
effort,
that's just to
Frank.
help the
Yeah,
cameraman.
he's not just a blank canvas.
Make an effort, 2 crosses. I mean, he could have made more of an effort. But...
Look, I raise my glass to him. I can honestly say I have toasted marshmallow.
But the thing I've worked out about Marshmallow, he is... No one really knows who he is. It's a bit of a Banksy type scenario, I believe.
Oh, really? It's one of those.
Signing on.
Well, you know what... Al, signing on.
But he never declared that gig.
Yeah.
No. And a great way to carry on in the music profession when you hit, in your 60s or 70s.
Well, that's,
How old is he underneath the marshmallow?
I don't think he'll be around then, will he?
What would be good
I'd love it if he was, Frank.
if he allowed the marshmallow head to age slightly over the years.
I don't know. I've never watched a marshmallow age, though. I wouldn't know what happens to
No,
them.
me neither.
Just a bit singed like it had been by the bonfire.
It's not a thing you keep, is it?
I mean, Bart Simpson's been about 11 for 30 years, hasn't he? Is that-
Yeah, but I think you'll find he's an animated character.
But so's Marshmallow's head in a way, unless that's
Yeah.
a real head, in which case I
No,
wouldn't have expected
I'll tell
it
you
at the
something.
ENA Awards.
Must get hot in there.
We're
As much
going
as
to
a
be
documentary.
we'll be in hot water if it turns out that's his real head.
That's, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, we'll have broken every. That would finish. If it turns out Marshmallow's head is like that, that's my career over. There'll be things that the people from there'll be like a sort of swollen head society,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they'll say it's this sort of arrogant contempt, which is why you haven't heard of them, because these people stay in mainly, and Marshmallow's broken the thing.
Amazing, really. When you think
Yeah.
of all the controversial things you've said, to be hoisted by this. it'd be
By that
amazing.
particular petard. I know, exactly. But anyway,
What a
Oh,
pity.
can I just
God
say
bless him.
Ultra Magnus has been in touch. It's actually MK Knight. She's changed her name a bit, I think. She says, maybe Marshmallow should team up with Hot Chocolate.
Oh, very strong.
Yeah, are they still going?
That'd be the end of Marshmallow.
It would be. I think he might be thinking in those terms, hadn't he? Who could I do? What do they call them when they work to collaborate?
collab, yeah.
Collaborations with people who
Feet,
just sort of-
Frank.
M&M.
Oh,
A
yeah.
feet, yeah.
Still it's all the confectionery, isn't it?
Yeah, is that what we want during the national obesity crisis?
I don't think
People
so.
saying, "Oh, look at my," just to remind you, you're
Yes.
just taking your mind off it with a bit of
Subliminal
music.
messaging, isn't
Remember
it?
what a lovely marshmallow's like. God, I mean, talk about temptation. The poor kids, and the presenter had like a sort of candy floss dress on as well.
Jason
Not
Derulo.
very thin as well, candy floss on a stick. It was always saying get into the nearest fairground and fill your boots was the message. What was she called, Sarah?
Hayley Steinfeld.
Hayley
yeah,
Steinfeld.
okay, yeah.
You know her as well.
Well, of course I do.
You've been researching the young people, Emily D. What's going on?
Oh, you did. You googled
I
young
know.
people.
You know Jason Durango? Was that what he's called?
Derulo.
Oh, yeah, Derulo. Wow.
But I don't just shut up shop as each birthday comes.
I know, but
I keep an interest in there. Like Hayley Steinfeld was an actress as well. And a model. There's all sorts going on. I bet you haven't even listened to Ariana Grande's new song, Thank You Next.
I haven't.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
you should.
preparing for something. No, it's great. I respect. You haven't got a CBBC job.
I'd love it if I
No,
had.
it's good to have somebody on the programme who knows what's happening in the modern world.
yeah.
But I'm taken aback, I must be honest. Well, maybe I better start swatting up. Well, I got me marshmallow.
Yeah.
It's a start, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm seeing Ed Sheeran, I think, next week.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping an eye on what's going on.
I'm excited
I miss,
about
I miss Bitcoin, but I'm not going to let that happen again.
Bitcoin.
I'm keeping up on the trends.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Nice late review, Frank. Someone, David Woods, finally got round to reading your autobiography. When did that come out? 15 years ago?
2000, I think.
Lovely.
You know what? I read a bit of it this week.
He absolutely loved it, by the way.
Yeah, oh, great.
Okay.
I never really read it when it came out, 'cause obviously I'd read it before it was published. And I read a bit this week for research purposes. And
how was it?
Great.
Was this one or two?
This is what I have to say. It was a bit more coarse. There was some barrack room language. Is it barrack room? Locker room language.
It was quite
locker room chat. Yeah.
It was quite blue in some areas.
Yes,
yeah.
But it's of its time. But it's brilliant. I agree.
Some laddie humour.
I can't like just when you come to it, you haven't looked at it for ages. It's like reading someone else's.
Oh, that's good.
But much better. It's the best one I've ever read.
Okay, Frank.
Right. Of all the biographies, it's the one that you felt you had a most connection with on reading.
I just think it's very, very well written.
Good.
Oh my
Anyway, let's move on. You brought it up.
I did. I happen to agree.
Oh, well, there you go. We're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Of my autobiography.
Which autobiography do you have a deep connection with? Mine is De Profundis.
Oh, what? Really? No. Oh, okay.
I very much enjoyed Dave Eggers' A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius.
Lovely.
But it's not for everyone.
No.
We've had an idiotic eureka moment in. It's called Three Little Pigs. You know the idiotic eureka moment? For anybody new, it's when you realise something that's been obvious all those times, like Sooty and Sweep are named Sooty and Sweep because it's a chimney theme.
Yeah.
Good evening, Frank and Emily, via Alun's Friday night trawl. As a 40-year-old bloke, I was appalled with myself this week when it was pointed out to me that in the nursery rhyme, This Little Piggy, the little piggy that went to market was not going shopping but was being sold.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I've been questioning every other rhyme, story and fairy tale from my childhood to see what else I've missed. Praise redacted. I didn't realise that.
How do we know that? How do we know that for sure, though? This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed at home. Because the stayed at home one suggested, maybe he was invited to the market and said, no, I feel a bit. I had a mate who used to say, I feel a bit limp.
No, I think he might be right about that. And they're dark parables, these things.
Well, they don't shop. You never see them shopping.
Yeah. And what does he do? Awkwardly swerve the butchers?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, there's no place for a pig, the market.
Come to think of it, I've never seen a pig eat roast beef. I'm not sure that's part of their thing.
Yeah, it's all mixed up, isn't it?
Yeah,
there'll be, they've all got used it that you always meet some person who knows what they mean.
Yeah.
Right. Like Ring a Ring a Rose is about the plague.
Yeah.
So they'll have experimented. Pigs will eat beef, won't they?
I believe pigs will eat anything.
The dead. They eat the dead.
I believe they will.
Do they?
Pigs eat the dead. Let's make that. I'm happy for you to use that as a trailer.
Also, that sounds. Frank, that sounds like the sort of band your brother Keith would have been into as a teenager.
Exactly.
Hey, Frank,
like their early
stuff. Pigs Eat the Dead.
He liked Bloodwind Pigs.
He did.
So he was into the porcine bands. Who are the other porcine bands?
8, 12, 15.
New Pork Dolls.
Yeah. Are there any other pig bands?
Well, that was the question.
I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Hennes from Gravesend, Frank. Are you familiar with his work? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I always ask about whether people still get henna. Do you remember that was the thing you used to get at the seaside?
I love Hennes from Gravesend.
Okay.
Hennes from Gravesend says this: Morning, Frank and the gang. Whatever happened to saying, yes, Your Majesty, when someone made a request deemed either too demanding or made in a brusque way?
I don't know that I'm aware of that as was that a thing that happened?
Oh,
I remember
yes,
that.
We used to do
and
that
also,
a lot.
what did your last slave die of?
Oh, yeah, that was
all the time.
It was a big one, wasn't it?
That was a mass. He was eaten by a pig, apparently.
Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
So what's happening?
With the piggies?
Just generally in the world.
I had a question about the piggies because we were talking about this little piggy went to market.
Yeah.
And I was asking off air, this is what our chats are like off air.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of piggies, I believe there's a documentary on Absolute about the White Album on Sunday night. Tune in.
Yeah.
But that for a link.
What's that got to do with Piggy?
It's that Piggy song that on there. Good, all the little piggies, etc.
Right.
Which I think it influenced Charles Manson in some way. Anyway, I don't think we'll be going there. Breakfast radio. You know what I'm talking about? I've had enough trouble with the Marshmallow Head Society. Sorry, do carry on.
It's just this little piggy. Was it the little piggy who went wee 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 all the way home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just. Does that mean he escaped? He was saved?
Oh, maybe.
As Morrissey once remarked to me, of the Ross's 2 pigs, 2 were saved.
Ah,
That's what he said.
that's a good.
That's nice.
That's a
He
good
didn't-
line
yeah.
from Morrissey.
He looked over at them and he looked quite wistful and he said, I said, oh, these are the 2 pigs, Moz. You call him Moz, I was told.
Dear.
Oh dear.
And he said, 2 were saved.
That'd be his vegetarian stance, would it?
Vegan, I think.
Vegan, probably.
I'm pretty sure he's pretty militantly vegan.
You're saying 2 blokes in the
Yeah.
pub talking about...
No, I think
But that's what blokes in the pub talk about is Morrissey. I wonder if he knows that for all his avant-gardeners. It's bloke in denim
I
shirt
imagine so.
saying, I like that seaside town that never closed down. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, anyway.
Further to the whatever happened to what did your last slave die of, don't forget the classic comeback, helping yours. Praise redacted.
I don't know that either.
I
I'm
mean,
really
either.
out of touch.
Well, that's a lot. You could start
gonna
using
start-
that. It's a nice one.
Helping yours.
Helping your slave.
So, for example, Alan and I will do it.
Oh, it's a response.
Yeah,
to
we'll
the
show you. I'll
slave.
go, "Ah."
I thought you just said, "Can you get the door for me?" Helping yours.
No.
No, it's what did your last slave die of?
Helping yours.
That was lovely. That
Available for acting work. Available.
together as
Very,
well.
very
Yeah.
nicely done, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Well delivered dialogue, that.
Yeah. This is the plus of having 2 people who went to drama school on the show.
Isn't it?
I just went through the standard education 2 degrees system. I think it's a nice balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
As
And
you-
you're the one who's sci-fi royalty. Oh no, that's me.
Oh yeah, you're sci-fi.
We're
royalty.
both sci-fi royalty. Okay.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm a minor royal. What's your sci-fi qualifications, Al?
0.
Come on,
come on, you must have
think,
thought.
man,
Honestly.
think.
0.
You must have
Below
done
0.
one vaguely sci-fi role in your acting career.
No.
Didn't anything happen in that hospital?
No.
Okay.
No, it was all very medical and real worldy. There's nothing supernatural in Always
We're
and
going to
Everyone.
find something.
I
Frank.
can find that he's inside a sort of a Chewbacca something in its student production.
There is talk of me being the next Doctor Who.
Is there really?
There is a bit of talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting it now.
There's usually a comic mentioned in the running.
Well, watch out next
There
time.
won't be one for a while. 'Cause-
Isn't there a
You're
comic
right.
in it now?
Well, I mean, as the doctor.
the actual
Yeah,
doctor.
Bradley
Yeah.
Walsh, isn't
Yeah,
he? Brado.
Okay.
Brad. They all call him Brad,
Walsher.
which sounds... Brad Walsh sounds a completely different character
Yes.
from Bradley Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from California.
Yeah, Brad Walsh. Here comes Brad Walsh. Hi! Here comes Bradley Walsh. All right, darling. Just one syllable. Amazing.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I've been sent a lovely photograph of you, Frank Skinner.
Oh, yeah.
It's from Rick Moran, and he says, hi. I made him sound a bit American. He doesn't, I'm going to say, but I don't want to pronounce it any other way.
Like Brad
I
Walsh.
think Moran is
Is
a
that
normal...
okay?
Yeah, mate of Brad Walsh.
Hello, here's a couple of photos from the... Now, it says DWAS63. So maybe perhaps you can explain that. William Hartnell Heritage.
Well, the DWAS is the Doctor Who Appreciation Society.
Oh, of course it is. I should have known that because I think they still give me alerts.
And I went to Elstree Studios for the unveiling of a William Hartnell plaque. You know William Hartnell, the first Doctor?
Yeah.
Know of.
Yeah, so it was great.
I think he liked
Have you-
a cigarette, didn't he? An overflowing ashtray.
Did it? I don't
Right.
know.
Oh, yeah.
I think he probably did. They all
Yeah.
did, didn't they? But he's the one who did that interview where he's in panto. He goes a bit wrong after he's Doctor Who. He he loses the Doctor Who job. So they interview him backstage in pants. He's one of those where they're putting makeup on, in the mirror. And the guy said, so is this the sort of work you want to do from now on? And he goes, no. What do you mean? He said, this is front of cloth stuff. He said, I'm a legitimate actor. I thought, wow.
Oh.
But have you ever been to a plaque unveiling?
I haven't.
No.
Well, to my knowledge.
It's a special. I'll tell you what the thing of it is after this message.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So, yeah, the thing about a plaque unveiling is you all stand around and there's a small curtain, obviously.
Oh, is there a curtain? I'm so glad there's a
that's what I
curtain.
pictured.
in front of the plaque. And then the curtain's opened by a celebrity. In this case, it was...
It was you?
It was two... No, it was two of his TARDIS team from the first...
Oh, wow.
Oh, so were you just a fan there?
Yeah, I was just there as a fan, yeah.
Hashtag fanboy.
And so they...
You're just turning up.
Yeah, I just went there to get my photo taken with Susan and Ian. Why? I don't find that outrageous.
It's not outrageous. It's cute, is what it is.
Oh, thanks. And
Oh, it's so
I don't think you've ever called me cute
It's
before.
sweet.
Anyway, but when they open... The thing is about... I actually thanked Susan and Ian for illuminating my childhood.
Oh.
Hang on, Susan and Ian are the actors in it.
The character
yeah,
names.
characters.
And Susan said, "Ooh, I like illuminated." Anyway, the thing is that when you go there, obviously, because you are an admirer of the person whose plaque is being unveiled.
Yeah.
But when the curtain opens, the idea it's supposed to be like a surprise, like unveiling a painting or something like that.
Yes,
But of course, you know what the name's going to be.
Yeah.
And,
So how do you
it's
respond?
blue. It's going to be blue
Yeah.
with
White
white, right?
writing.
Yeah.
How do you respond?
You go, oh, as if it's, I didn't see that coming. But of course, you knew exactly.
Yeah.
Is the applause a bit? It's a bit 3 runs Village Green, isn't it?
No, it was,
Okay,
William Hart.
calm
was
down.
An enormous
actually
part
less
of my
surprising
childhood.
than the FA Cup draw that's on
Yeah.
the telly. Which
Well, I did
isn't
that once.
enchanting a bit of telly, is it?
I did the FA Cup draw once, and a bloke phoned me, a mate of mine phoned me immediately afterwards and said, "Is it true about the warm balls?" And I said I didn't stand that. No, and they said that the big teams that they steam the big team balls before so that you don't pick a big team against a complete rubbish.
Oh.
Anyway, I would like to go. This is what if anyone wants to, I'd like to go to a blue plaque unveiling where I don't know who it's for.
Oh, that'd be good.
Can you imagine
Yes.
that genuine surprise? You've gone across London, open Roland Gift.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be different,
Especially
wouldn't it?
nowadays when all of the big names really have probably been done, wouldn't they?
Well, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's true, but thanks for saying that, Alan.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio or email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Frank, I'd like to talk about Zoella this morning.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember last time she was mentioned on the show? It might have been exactly a year ago.
Now, for any of our older readers, Zoella is, I think, what they call an internet sensation.
Yeah, influencer / vlogger.
Influencer, is that
Yeah,
what
that's
she's
what they
called?
call them,
That's a
influencer.
brilliant thing to be.
Great job, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It is. And she is... well, she is an internet sensation, and she
Yeah.
brings out some product as well.
Yeah.
And she was much mocked on this show about a year ago for bringing out an advent calendar that only had,
Not just any advent calendar, Al.
what?
One with 12 doors.
And it's 50 quid.
50 quid.
And it had, one had got confetti in it.
I'll tell you exactly what it had. A packet of glitter.
Yeah, a razor. Was it a razor in
A
one?
razor.
And a razor, not a razor. Yeah, cutthroat racer in one. Knuckle dusters.
Yeah. It's quite a violent advent
tell you what,
That was the
calendar,
Charles
that.
Bronson advent calendar.
Yeah.
You're getting and some butter. He
But
had
it was fairly... It wasn't 50 quid's worth of loot. though, was it?
stickers, cookie cutters, and some glitter.
I tell you what, you know those bags that those see-through plastic bags that people take away from crime scenes.
Yes.
The
Forensic.
contents were extremely similar to that, except it was 50 quid.
She said, what was interesting at the time is she apologised, didn't she? And she did a video and she said, I didn't know they were going to charge that. I was as surprised as you were. What, you actually walked into the shop, went, how much?
Yeah.
About her own product.
Well, you say that because what I remember her saying about the calendar distinctly is that she was incredibly proud of it.
Yeah.
And she now has a book out
Yes.
Yeah.
called, I believe, Cordially Invited.
Cordially invited.
And again, she's brought out the old catchphrase that she's incredibly proud of it.
Oh.
So she should learn that pride is, of course, a sin.
Sin.
Unless
Yeah.
it's a special
thought you were
day.
going to say it
for
goes
people.
before a fall.
Well, it might go before a fall. I think in her case, it goes before a windfall
Yes.
when she counts the proceeds from
And
it.
yet again, she seems to have been much mocked for this one.
Can I say in her defence, just to give you
Sure.
a hint, and I've done a little bit of factual research on Zoella
Okay.
because I care.
Yeah.
Have a guess at this. How many Instagram followers would you say? I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
5 million.
Give us a clue.
Double that.
No way.
Shut up.
10.4 million.
Yeah.
YouTube,
18.
12. So you've spoilt it now. Whenever people guess high.
I know.
All
That's
right.
the
Only
thing. I was gonna
13.
go low.
Only 13 million Twitter
Yeah.
followers.
Okay.
But that's where she's also Zoe Sogg. That's her real name.
Yes.
And recently she's gone Zoe
yeah,
Sogg.
I'm not the only one who's brushing up on the youth
Well,
culture.
I'm interested in the whole concept of an internet phenomenon
Are
who
you?
does
The
nothing.
influencer, yeah.
Well, the weird thing about it is that her brother is an internet phenomenon.
Joe?
Who's on Strictly, isn't he?
Crofter Joe?
He's on Strictly.
Oh, is that her brother?
Yeah. So she's an internet phenomenon.
Is he called? I think he's called Crofter
Brother-
Joe.
Is he called
Is he a
Crofter
crofter?
Joe?
Or Thatcher Joe or something like that. Because he used
Oh.
to do cottage roofs.
Oh, I thought he was
Oh,
very
did
right wing.
Right, Thatcher Joe. I'm sure he must. No, I don't know. I can't say that.
Well, there's certainly capitalist principles at work
Do you
in
think the whole
in the
family
house.
have got a YouTube channel, though?
But I tell you what's brilliant
The
about
old granddad.
Well, on the last thing of the last statistic, when she first, let me get this right, when she first brought out the YouTube channel, it was called Zoella 280390. That's what it was
Oh.
called,
Why?
which was her birthday. She was born then. And she's obviously thought in showbiz terms, maybe having my birthday because she's 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
she
thought
got
she
to-
was like 14.
Well, the
No.
average fan. This is the strange thing about the book. It's a sort of lifestyle book for hosting,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say the average viewer or fan of Zoella is probably about 12, 11.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're throwing dinner parties.
She's claimed that it's targeted at 20-year-olds, hasn't
Oh,
she?
Yeah,
Get out of it.
here.
All
There's
right.
no 20-year-olds reading Cordially
Don't
Invited.
shoot the messenger, guys.
Unless they work for a tabloid and they're going through it to find things they can criticise her for, the poor laugh.
What do you want us to do? Hug the messenger?
She looks... I hugged Melinda Messenger once.
Yeah.
It was in a professional context. Can I make that clear?
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So cordially invited.
Cordially Invited, annoying, is a book about parties and never actually mentions cordial. It's a lovely
doesn't?
party drink.
Because that's the sort of book you would buy on the strength of that, because you love a cordial,
Well,
Frank.
it's a cordial. When I was a kid, we all drank cordial, right?
Yeah.
It's, oh, nice drink. Do you want a nice glass of cordial?
Good old days.
Then it became squash.
Oh,
Is there
yeah.
any difference at all? Is it just a different name for cordial?
Anyone know?
It's any diluted,
8, 12, 15,
Different
if
name.
anyone knows.
any diluted drink, basically. Anyway, she never mentions cordial.
It's weird because you used to get cordial in sort of cafes or in restaurants.
Yeah.
Imagine now.
Nice glass of cordial.
Can you imagine that? Can I have an orange squash, please?
Well,
you
when I
can't
was
order that in a restaurant now.
Can you not?
Of course
When
you
I
can't.
was a child in Scotland, we used to call it diluting.
Oh, really?
Do you want
Are
to
you
drink
sure
a
that wasn't
diluting?
going on the rob?
Diluting.
Yeah. And you'd say, yeah, I'll have some diluting. That sounds good.
You've made it sound really hardcore.
Yeah.
I can't discuss this without thinking of that gorilla at London Zoo. That
He went
drank.
wild.
Yeah.
What did he drink? Ribena, yeah, he drank.
Oh, like 3 litres or something.
I think it was 5 litres of Ribena without any diluting.
Absolutely lost it.
Yeah.
So, cordially invited.
Purple wheeze for 2 weeks. Purple wheeze. What if Prince, before he passed away, had shots of that gorilla having purple wheeze and had that as a big video backdrop and changed it so he on stage?
I think the gorilla was called something like kombucha.
I think he was, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely that you... Really
Thank
touching that you remember his name.
It sounds like the drink kombucha.
Yeah.
Good.
So Zoella says in her book, it costs £20.
256 pages.
Is it?
That I want something a bit fatter for
20 quid.
20
I've heard
quid.
you say that before.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't said that for years.
She tells you how to make a sandwich, Frank.
Yeah.
But she uses, I think, interesting language. She's gone a bit formal. She says, when ready to assemble your sandwiches, gone a bit Avengers, lay your bread out on the work surface and butter each slice.
Good.
She could have said
so
make, but she won't assemble.
I don't know if I would lay bread out on the work surface.
What do you go on? Plate?
Plate, one of those work surface that got so
board.
much, I spit on it quite a lot.
Oh dear.
Not deliberately.
Just
But when I'm ranting at home.
All right.
But to be fair to her, we've all had very rubbish sandwiches in our time. That there should be.
Yeah.
I believe Egon Rone, I once read a thing describing how to make a good sandwich.
I think Jamie Oliver was mocked in a previous life for fish finger sandwiches in a cookbook, wasn't he?
Do you remember when we did the show from Edinburgh this year? We went to a lovely cafe after, and at least one of us ordered a bacon butty. And when it arrived, there was no butter.
Oh, infuriating.
And we said to the lady, "Can we have some butter?" She said, "Butter?" It's a bacon butty is what it's called. So I think maybe, you think people know, but I think you're allowing for the way
That was annoying,
intelligence
that
has
place.
fallen away.
Took
Okay,
about
what
10
about-
minutes for my diluting to arrive.
Oh, I don't believe it.
What about take an umbrella? Weather can be a little unpredictable at this time
Again,
of year. You happy
Couldn't
with that?
disagree more.
We've all been out, haven't we, when we haven't taken an umbrella?
I never
Okay.
take an umbrella.
And
Won't do
thought,
it.
I wish I'd read cordially invited. I'd have that with me. So I think we're thinking, we know all this stuff. But as I say, horrible sandwiches are everywhere. And we've all got wet because we forgot the umbrella. So it's just a little aide de memoire for the basics.
Awesome advice. Attend a local fireworks display.
Yeah,
Keep it
she's,
local.
okay. She's anti-Catholic. I'm not denying that.
Winter advice. Sing carols, eat mince pies.
Good advice.
1854.
She's trying to win me. Yeah, well, what about this bit? We should. But I like this. Spring is the time of year when I generally get the urge to clean.
Oh!
If only there was a name for that phenomenon.
What's that called?
Oh, we could come up with something, I bet.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I'm just learning from Sarah, the assistant producer, that when people go for a vodka, lime and soda, that they are sometimes asked if they want fresh lime or cordial.
Well, we had 756 text. Hi, Frank and team. I still remember the days of going into pubs and asking for vodka or orange and being asked whether I wanted squash or fresh for the orange. Even the fresh came in a tiny bottle. Not that fresh.
I know, but Sarah is what I would call current.
Yeah, youth.
Yeah, and I think that lime is one of the cordials that kept its cordialness. I've
Yes,
never
agreed.
heard of lime squash.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
That's a good
right.
I think there's something that, for some reason.
Why did lime slip through the net?
Yeah,
Why
orange
is-
cordial, blackcurrant cordial, they've all gone.
And why is elderflower a pressé?
Yeah.
8, 12, 15.
Yeah, why is it a pressé
You
and
never
not
get
a...
elderflower cordial.
I'll have an
Elderflower
elderflower squash, please.
No.
Big diluting elderflower.
I'm going to start asking for that in the organic gastropubs.
I think they might
See how they
say,
like that, the bearded folk.
I bet, see how
Sorry,
long
Al.
you do it before somebody says, what you talking about, Willis?
Got quite a long time, I
Yeah,
imagine.
probably quite a long time.
Frank,
We've also had a legal update. Sorry, Emily. 443 has texted, no. There's no limits. No, he hasn't.
It's too unlimited.
No butter on bacon sarnies. It's the law. I think it's a north-south divide thing.
No, I'm fine. I would never have put them on. If I made one at home, I wouldn't put butter on. But if it's a bacon butty, if you call it on the menu a bacon butty, you are leading the purchaser towards the idea of butter, surely.
Really?
What do you think of butty? How do you think the name butty came about? It's
I just thought it was
abbreviation
like a
of bread.
Big bread roll. Like a butty.
Yeah, I'm without.
sorry,
I've never
no.
heard the butter thing. I
I've never
appreciate
thought-
you.
I
Well,
thought
butter,
butter should
it's
be in
a-
a bacon sandwich anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I don't want to fall out with you guys over this.
No.
Well, it's happening.
I've got plenty of other things. Okay.
I think it's Nicki Minaj's Twitter handle as well.
What is
Butty. Yeah.
Don't get it.
Okay. You obviously haven't seen Nicki Minaj.
No.
342 says on the squash theme, when I was a child, I thought dilute meant delicious because it said dilute to taste. Thanks, Mum.
Delicious to
That
taste.
orange was dilute. So she
I
thought
c-
it said,
I
delicious
think
to
that
taste.
could be youth taught now, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Man, that was dilute.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think let's make that happen. Not easy. Can I just say, by the way, for one small defence of Zoe Soggs.
Yeah.
So, Ellen.
Soggs or Sog? I think I've mixed her up
Soggs.
with...
Sugs with
I've
an
mixed her up with a guy
Madness.
from Madness.
I'd like to hear
No, I
his
think it's
cordially invited. Bring some B&H and
Yeah.
and a bottle of beer.
Sog it is, Joey Sog. Not Joey, Zoe.
Zoe, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how long before there's the sweet smell of success? That's going to be one of them's going to be
nice.
called that. But in the Sun newspaper, it spent some time saying basically how stupid the book was and suggesting therefore how stupid she was, and then referred to it as a novel.
Oh.
No, you know, I once split up with someone because they call Fever Pitch a novel. So that's me and the Sun newspaper in a terrible situation.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
She's been mocked for giving out ham and cheese sandwich instructions, and I'm one of those people that I don't really like to follow a recipe. So if I was making a ham and cheese sandwich, I'd just get ham and cheese.
Well,
and put it in a sandwich.
At least you're tying in with it that
Yeah.
closely.
And if I'm making leek and potato soup, I'll just get leeks and potatoes and make a soup out of them. I won't follow the recipe. It all fell apart when I tried to make beef Wellington.
Ah,
See? It's like a little joke.
That's good. I like it.
Lovely.
Can I ask you a question? If you were making a ham and
Sure.
cheese sandwich,
Yeah.
what would you put on the sandwich first?
Let me travel back in time. Okay. Yep.
I only ask
going
this
back to
because
adolescence or
I know
childhood?
for definite what I would put on. It's not like a random thing for me.
Oh, I'd go cheese under ham.
Cheese on the ham every time because I'm
I
thinking.
love you too, Frank. I love you
I'm
too.
thinking
No,
that
okay.
the move from butter to ham is too extreme. Butter, cheese, or other dairy product, and then it gives you a beautiful
A little bridge.
an arc. And it's because it's a bit like butter. It just looks like a slightly firmer butter-esque platform for the ham.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. I would go ham first on the
Would
butter.
you?
How I see it, Frank, is the ham on that surface is a bit more like a soft eiderdown with the hard futon on top. Okay? So I like that. The cheese
Aye.
is too hard for me.
I see.
Do you see?
Wow, wouldn't this be on a food show on the telly? A fabulous twist on scissors, paper, stone. Well, there you go. I'm shocked by that.
But
What about is there anyone there who would go, say, maybe cheese, ham, and then put the butter on top of the ham? I mean, come on.
Psychopaths.
Of course there isn't.
Put slices of bread on the top.
Can I give you another quote
Weirdos.
from Zoe Sogg's
Yeah,
book?
please do.
She has a garden party that is garden themed.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now that I like that.
Say what you see.
And she's no, but you
You should have called it that.
I've been to garden parties. They don't really upfront the garden thing. So, you know. But she suggests one way of upping the theme is to have a blackboard when guests arrive that has written on it, "Welcome to the garden party." You know what?
Why not?
Why not? Just a little touch like that can make all the difference. You know you're in the right place. You know the theme. You know you're welcome.
Well, also, Frank.
She also. What about this? This would be good if David Baddiel goes to one of her parties. She also puts Wi-Fi on a blackboard for people. I've been in shops, cafes all over Britain with Dave saying, have you got Wi-Fi? And what's the Wi-Fi thing?
And hotels.
Yeah, have it on a blackboard in your house.
That is good.
So, you know, we start off like so many things. Like, I suppose it's what Zoe Sogg wants to look back on is like people like Christopher Columbus and Edison who were mocked, you know.
Yeah. And they were.
And ended up doing really well and getting very highly respected. So, more power to her.
To
Well, final thing, when she suggests making a list of who attended your party, their intolerances and the food that you served.
Again,
So I think that'd be great if I came round. You know my intolerances. People that say no pressure then. And I think also the food that you served would be Domino's. Free.
Oh, nice.
It's very
Well,
straightforward.
I'm going to an award ceremony in Birmingham in a couple of weeks. So I'm taking our Keith. And I had a thing.
you?
Yeah. And they sent me a thing saying, does your brother have any dietary requirements? I laughed for about 5 minutes. I've texted him, but I know it'll just be a joke about beer that comes back. But I've gone with it. I've asked.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Another Zoella insight I have here.
Okay.
Because one thing that strikes me about it, and I suppose it always makes you wary of this, is anyone who sets up themselves as incredibly living in a squeaky clean, lovely, simple, uncomplicated, untainted world, you think that has to be a front. I don't know if it is with her, but I always think, well, what constitutes like strangeness and difference in her world? And I think I had a look at her Twitter feed, and she gets a tweet from Tanya Burr, who I think is yet another internet sensation.
Yes.
I looked to our youngest member.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you were our
Thank
youth
you.
correspondent.
I have actually met her.
Okay.
Tanya Burr. I hate to say it, she was very nice. That's the thing, they're nice, these people.
I called her. She put the phone down. That's why I call her
She's
Tanya
lovely.
Burr. Tanya.
Tanya was nice.
Anyway,
Lovely.
what the reason I picked up on this is because Zoe, if I may call her that, Soggo, she says to Tanya Burr, "I love you and your weird tweets." And I thought, I wonder what this is a response to. And Tanya's weird tweet was, "I love the smell of toast."
Oh,
No,
She's like Desiree in that
I don't think
respect.
Tanya was having a stroke, do you?
yeah. But it's Why? Is that what people smell?
Isn't it? Something like that.
Oh, God. What about if she responded, I love you and your weird treats, and she's on the kitchen floor,
Never
Tanya?
mind that. Call
Oh,
an
no, I
ambulance.
hope that... Well, that needs to be checked.
Yeah.
If anyone's
Has Tanya
listening...
tweeted since the toasting?
If you live close to Tanya Burr, can you nip across and make sure she's all
I mean,
right?
you wouldn't want that to be the last thing, you know.
Oh, no, I
Come
love the
on.
smell of toast. Where
I love
am
you
I?
and your weird tweets.
Oh, yeah. But,
You and your
let's
weird
get it.
tweets.
But I'm not suggesting that Zoe knew what had happened and was indifferent to it. I think it was a
Kind
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Oh, now you've worried me
I'm sorry.
about Tanya.
Tanya's fine. She was at the Ross's Halloween party.
Was
She's
she?
in good
Oh,
health,
I'm
yes.
really glad
Yeah,
to
but
hear
this
that.
tweet is a recent tweet. I only looked yesterday.
Uh-oh.
No. Okay.
That's what people say. Oh, I only saw her the other week. She's fine.
Well, isn't that what you say about a ghost as well? The innkeeper says that about the ghost.
What?
She's been dead 24 summers.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what you say if you see someone.
Yeah, I don't
so-
think she's dead.
No, look, no one
We
is
don't know.
suggesting.
We don't. If anyone, if there's a lot of milk outside her house, can someone kick the door down? How old is Burrow?
I'm going to say,
Well, there's no age limit to.
I'm going to say
being a
early
YouTuber.
to mid 20, maybe 20. I might go 24, Burrow.
Oh dear. Well, let's hope she's okay.
hope so,
Our
too.
thoughts are with her family. They are actually. So,
255 has texted, my partner Mike butters both slices of bread. It's revolutionary. Hester on the M25.
I know I butter
Heston.
both.
Me too.
Is Heston getting tips off
I butter
us?
both. I didn't think that was revolutionary. I thought
What
that
about
was how
buttering
to
them
make
on
a
the
sandwich.
outside as well? If you're going to put them in a toasting machine.
Absolutely
Good.
absurd.
Good
Yeah.
tips from Frank Skinner
There
here.
you go.
You should put a book
I
out.
hate
It's
that's a
in
bit
my
of
life
a.
advice.
I hate that tip. It's a bedsit tip.
In my new
Frank.
book,
That's his book.
Smarmily Yours. Where
Gittishly yours.
exactly? It says entertaining for gits would be a good.
That would be
I'd
good.
buy that.
She also there's a lovely picture of her with her friends.
Yeah.
They all look happy and they got nice woolens on.
Nice looking people.
All nice looking, clean, well groomed.
Yeah.
They look,
Yeah.
and you know what they're laughing about won't be any a cynical or caustic
Won't be
remark.
horrible, like about Tanya Burr having a stroke.
It won't
or
be anything like
It'll be
that.
something nice.
It'll be about the word cordial being funny.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. And she says in the caption, she thought we were just having fun, but now we realise we was making memories.
Ah.
And I think that's a good way to do that retrospectively, not to say, what about making some... Should we make some memories? It sounds like the
Well, if a man-
most horrible chat up line.
Yeah, if a man said that to me, I'll
Hey,
tell you.
baby, fancy making some memories? I
Hey,
mean,
baby isn't helping it.
No, that one,
Who
no.
says hey, baby?
Well, I always say,
thanks,
ooh, baby.
Skinner. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
baby. Anyway, I think we've given it enough. We've done the Zog plug. So that must be a German word for something. So yeah, if you're looking for a present for your, what do you think, 12-year-olds? 10?
Yeah.
8.
8.
My daughter's 7 and she can make a sandwich, so it's still...
Yeah, but can I
How's
say?
her reading?
patronising.
Good.
She did-
Could she read Cordially Invited?
Are you talking about Zoella?
Possibly,
No.
yeah. My daughter.
Yeah.
She does recommend buying Easter eggs for yourself. And at first,
That
again,
is a
I
good
sneered and I thought, do you know, I've never done that. It says, at Easter, treat yourself with an Easter egg.
Oh, see.
I'm gonna do
We
that,
all
Frank.
think there's nothing in it.
Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I look forward to her new
do it
book on childbirth, Umbilical Cordially Yours.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Love it if you did. Nice to hear from you.
It's
About
not
that,
just all
about
about
that.
sandwiches. It's not all
No.
about sandwiches.
No, life isn't all about sandwiches.
I think we should discuss...
I'd love that book, Frank.
Yeah.
Life isn't all about sandwiches. I'd read that.
Would you put it up there with Pigs Eat the Dead?
Who can
Some
compete
great-
with that? Sorry, Al.
I'd like us to
Can
discuss...
I just say what?
Oh, go
sorry,
on.
but I was getting on the bus the other night, and a lady came up to me and said, "Hello, I'm collecting words of wisdom. What's the best advice you've ever been given?" And I said, what I always said is you can spend your whole life trying to be popular, but the size of the crowd at your funeral will be largely dictated by the weather.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's what she was after. But God bless her, she got on the bus. She went to everyone on the bus and said, "Hello, I'm collecting words of wisdom." And most people went, didn't want to do it. Bloke in front of me said, "Work hard." I thought, oh dear, that's not words of wisdom. Words of
He
wisdom.
sounds like he doesn't
Yeah.
want to be on a bus
He
anymore.
sounds very 80s.
Yeah, Greek galley slave. What's your best words? Work hard, I think's the best one. I
What
get
did your
that.
last slave die?
Yeah, exactly.
So what did you say, Frank?
That was what I said.
Oh, you said that at that point. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
But interesting.
yeah.
Brave. I mean, to talk to anyone on a bus is... I find
Unwise,
the
I find.
drivers are fairly hostile.
Yes, true.
Except for, as you've always pointed out, driver's friend,
Oh.
which is a lovely role.
Oh, yeah. That,
I love a
that
driver's
person.
friend.
I see less and less driver's friends. These are the people who stand at the front and talk to the driver. They know the driver.
And they have
I
a
think it's
slight
health and
VIP
safety, innit?
status.
I think it might be health and safety. I'd like to see one like gaffer taped to the outside of the driver's cubicle for safety purposes. Anyway, sorry, Al, I interrupted
Yeah, I
you.
was going to suggest that we discuss Emil Rattleband, who I think may be...
You always bring him up.
I think he may be on the cusp of becoming a friend of the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or he might be a bit of a git. He might be a filthy creep or a legend. I don't know.
wow.
But
Well, we don't often do multiple choice.
he's a dude in the Netherlands who's apparently a media personality.
them.
He's 69 years old and
Steady.
is trying to change his legal age to 49
Yeah.
because a doctor told
Is
him
it
that-
49? 'Cause I
Yeah.
said 49 and
Well, the
the
doctor told
producer
him
shot me down in flames and said it was 45.
A doctor told him that he's got the body of a 45-year-old. His real age, his physical age is 45. So he's gone, well, I think I should identify as 49. And he says in the article, if you can
Yeah.
change your gender, why
can
can't I
change your
change
name.
my age? I
Listen,
can,
interesting.
as a point.
I think, well, a doctor said to me recently that I had the blood pressure of a 12-year-old schoolboy.
You know, that's one of the nicest compliments you've ever had.
Well, not during exam week, surely.
No, exactly. I better keep that one under my hat, under my cap. He also said,
Emil?
what about
Emil?
No, this is...
Your doctor.
I was told, that's actually
I'm still on the doctor.
in a medical, and I wrote this down, that
Yeah.
I'm in the top... Have I told you this before? I'm in the top 10% of the population as far as the waist-hips ratio is concerned.
What do you
Well,
mean,
well
Jagger?
done.
Moves like Jagger.
Top 10%. Well, he's probably in the 10% with me. Top 10%.
I love that he's conceded. He's probably in the top 10% with me, Jagger. So that means...
The doctor said I could leap through an unstrung tennis racket.
That is useful.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? So you've got a lion waist.
I'll tell you the only thing, the only thing that spoils it,
Go on.
I've got the lion head as well, but
Yeah.
the only thing that spoils it is that during the medical, they said, right, we're going to they put these sticky things on me with wires, stuck them on my chest and on my
Little
wrist.
bionic man. Love that.
Yeah, and I had to sit still for 2 minutes.
Hmm.
That was the challenge. Just sit still for 2 minutes. So I sat there still for 2 minutes, and then she looked at the readings and said, "Oh, not so good." And I thought, what a failed sitting still for 2 minutes.
Fidgety.
Yeah. So that was. So you know, it's.
What was that all
ups and
about
downs.
then?
You know, gutters and strikes, as
Yeah.
they say. Gutters and strikes. Yeah, I'm really. I don't know.
You'd never explained it.
She just said, I think it's to do. I thought if I'm going to sit for 2 minutes, I'll think about work and stuff. And,
Yeah.
and I think I was supposed to just,
Yeah.
think about cordially inviting people around for a.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm brilliant waist-hips ratio, fantastic blood pressure, sitting still, very poor. That's why I never worked for the council.
Oh, God.
Skinner, Dean, Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
This Emil Rattleband,
Legend.
well, his Dutch proverb, Al, I take more hay on my fork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we have more of an analysis of that, please?
I think he means if he's allowed to put his age as 49, he'll get more swipes on Tinder.
Right.
Or more likes. I don't know what Tinder involves, but
Is it the young people will know? Is it
I think he
swipe
wants...
left? Yeah, we said...
He wants more women on Tinder, essentially. That's why I think he might be a little bit of a filthy creep. That's
hold on. I think if he might just be lonely.
Just trying to categorise him for the show.
No, but
legend, friend of the show, filthy creep. Just trying to put him in
one thing that's made me warm to him.
Yeah.
I have to say, he said if I could change my Tinder age to 49, and I quote, he said I'd be in a luxurious position. That is fantastic. I think is it different from having a sex change? If he really feels 49, and the doctor says he's got the body of a bloke in his 40s, and his whole mindset,
like he said to you, where's this going?
The way he dresses, everything. If he really feels 49, should we stop him from being 49?
The slight fly in the ointment of this is that I've seen a photo of him and he looks at least 62.
Do you think?
Yeah.
That's harsh,
so
Al.
I think if he puts on Tinder that he's 49, people will go, God, you must have had a hard paper out.
No, but I
didn't think there were any hills in the Netherlands.
But I have to say, if I said I'm identifying as a woman, I'm going to have a sex change, you wouldn't say, well, look at you, you look like a bloke to me. You'd think that was an outrageous thing to say.
No,
I wouldn't say that. Not on air anyway.
Can I be honest what I'd say? You got the legs for it.
Well, there you go. Well, maybe he's got the legs for a 49. I think it's a really interesting theory because he feels... He's been. He said, there's jobs I can't get. I'm being shunned on Twitter. But in my heart, I feel I am 49, not 69.
69. Yeah,
it's tricky, isn't it?
Well, I have to say, if I'm going to be, and I'm not saying this, I'm going to be completely honest with you.
I always love those moments.
I identify as the funniest bloke on the planet. Now, I honestly do. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not. Now, enforcing that publicly is not always straightforward.
No.
But I do. I do. So does that mean I can claim to be the funniest bloke on the...
Yeah, in the new era, you can.
But I can. I'm not saying it as a joke. I know it sounds like, but I really do.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone funnier than me. That's what I'm saying.
Does that mean I can claim, as if it's some hypothetical concept? Well, you do often claim.
No, but this whole concept of identifying.
Yes.
What age do I never thought of identifying as a different age. It's a whole...
obviously I don't wish to discuss my age, but how old do you... No. How old would you identify as, Frank Skinner?
Well, I identify as someone who died in 2005. So can I claim the insurance?
Yeah.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We've had various people get in touch about this age realignment idea, as I'm calling it. 787 has texted, I'm getting on the bus and train half price me. I've decided I'm 15.
Yeah, but you can't just decide. You have to identify. You have to feel it.
Oh.
Gotta feel it. Feel it.
I suppose you've got to prove as well that throughout your life there have been, signs that things have been going in this direction.
I know, but you don't want to say, ever since I was at school, I thought I was 49.
Well, that's true of me, to be fair.
Right.
Well, I was.
Well,
I think
632 is saying, hi Frank, I'm a 37-year-old male. Can I identify as a 69-year-old and collect my pension? See, there's going to be
and then
a lot
we're getting
of that
also the, I feel like a 45-year-old, etc.
Oh, yeah.
You know where that road goes down.
But this is all very well, but I think there is an acknowledgement that some people's brains are fitted for different other than their physical thing.
Yeah.
I think this is a fascinating. If he won't win, will he? Do you think he'll win? If he wins, he's going to go crazy. He'll be the most famous person on Tinder, won't he? Because he'll be the celeb. Everyone will know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if his position will be quite as luxurious as he thinks.
He did say in there.
I don't know if there'll be so much hay on his fork.
He did say that there's
It depends who contacts him.
Yeah. He said as a younger man he'd be
A
able
lot
to
of
have
rustic offers.
He said as a younger man he'd be able to have a different car. That's one of the things that he said.
Well, he's right.
What, in Holland
Certain
you can have a different car if you're a
Well,
different...
no, there's certain cars that you shouldn't really drive over a certain age. Come on.
I think
Convertible, anyone?
Exactly. Yes,
right.
difficult.
Is that what he means?
Are you with me on that?
Yeah, I suppose.
You don't want to be in a convertible if you got a hairpiece.
Toupee, yeah.
What
Also,
is the
I think
cut-off
there's
age, Frank, for a convertible? Text in 81215.
Well, the reason I don't have one, I think, is because if you were out with it, if you were the sort of person that went out with a younger woman, you're in a convertible, you're liable to really drive quick, thinking that your face will benefit from the G-force.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Emily just really made me laugh with a Michael Portillo quote.
You know
Do you want
that.
to share it, or is it?
Yes, I think that's okay, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sure I've told you this one when I had lunch with him once. He was talking about
I
a
didn't
woman.
know you'd had lunch with Michael.
Oh,
Portillo.
yeah.
Lunch with Portillo.
Many years ago.
That'd
And
be a good TV show.
Yeah, it would be great.
we were talking about, I won't name her, but it was a female journalist. I'll tell you off air, and if you come up to it in the street, I might tell you, but I just won't broadcast it. And I said, what's she like? And he said, well, she's the worst person I've ever met, and I've met General Pinochet.
Wow.
So there you go.
Great line.
Yeah.
Strong word.
It's a bit Pinochetist. No, that is. How many of us can use that, though? That's the
Well, I
trouble.
know.
He's done well there. He's carved himself a little niche.
I like what you sounded like Andy Gray. He's done well there.
No, but no one's going to say, "Oh, I'm having that." They haven't. And who's met General Pinochet? Is Pinochet dead now?
I believe
I think so. I think that boat sailed.
Sure, yeah.
85 still alive, General Pinochet.
To be fair, Frank,
I think he identifies as 49. he identifies as a liberal.
To be fair, Frank, you could do that. I mean, Pinochet's one of the few you haven't met.
No, I haven't met Pinochet. I don't. I'm bandying his name about. I don't know
I
much
know.
about Pinochet. I'll be
Okay,
honest.
it's not great. He's not great.
What there is to know.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm taking it from the context.
Yeah.
He's not great.
Jack the gardener from Bromley here has texted.
East End murderer. One of the crays.
He's.
I've met one of the Crays.
Have you?
He's actually quite nice.
Well, you could use that in
That's
that
what they
little
say about
anecdote.
them.
You could say she's the worst woman I've ever met, and I've met. Doesn't have the same. Doesn't work.
No, but he was all right. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Charlie Cray. I know he disposed of the body of Jack the Hat McVitie, but you know, we've all had things
We've all
we
done things we're
regret.
not proud of, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack the gardener from Bromley asks...
No, he didn't do it.
What happens if this guy changes his age, then when he's older, outlives the world's oldest man? Does he then change his age back to his real one to claim the world record? I'm confused.
No,
That's
well,
what he says.
if I was the world's oldest man, I would be a bit upset if someone was identifying their self ahead of me in
Yeah.
the world's oldest man. Yeah, this is an implication I have to be honest I hadn't thought about.
No, me neither.
There you go.
I wonder if this will come up in court. But, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, consider, if you will, the world's oldest man. Would it be fair? Would it be just for him to lose his title that he has worked hard for because of paperwork? Yeah.
Do you know, Frank, you'd be a really wonderful judge.
It's like a dystopian version of Rumpole of the Bailey, that.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what I like? He's got his brown Cadfael hoodie on
Yes.
today.
Yes.
I like that. I can see him as a sort of Judge Pickle for the millennium.
I think that was more of a prosecuting.
Yes, it was prosecuting.
attorney.
You're correct. It's not the judge's
Do
role.
they say attorney in England? When I said it sounded American.
Don't think they do.
No, I don't. Is it counsel, I believe?
Well, you know
For the
what I mean.
defence? We know exactly what you mean.
The one who's after him. That's the one I'm on about. Yeah, so that's... there's so many implications to this.
Yeah.
A lot of knock-on effects.
So many... I mean, what happens... What about all the beige clothes he's bought?
Yeah,
Can he get the money back on them?
good point.
Very difficult.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
Frank, you have a good relationship with your mother-in-law, don't you?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. Salvatore Maniano doesn't. Manino?
Does he know my mother-in-law?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm sure he would. Who doesn't love a bit of Sandy Mason?
Well,
This man, I'm afraid he had a terrible relationship with his mother-in-law.
Salvatore.
Yeah, Salvatore. It's so bad that he decided to run away from her. And he was found in Edinburgh, in St Giles's Cathedral.
Oh, yes,
And he
yes.
faked memory loss. Did you remember this story? He pretended.
no, I don't remember.
Yeah. I can't
Excellent
remember if I've
answer.
ever faked
I remember
amnesia.
him. Doesn't even ring the small bell.
Fake my own memory. Yeah. So he disappeared and the police were looking for him. And then they discovered that on his computer, always clear your history, men and women, but mainly men, let's face it. He looked up terms such as how to disappear and how to fake memory loss.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand why he faked memory loss.
I don't, but I don't think we should
What do you
skate
mean?
over how scary it is, the idea of the police looking at your Google searches.
No, they do
I mean,
it.
some of mine are really stupid. So,
Well, I wonder where that was going.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Keep it clean.
So you're confused as to why he would need to fake the memory
Well,
loss?
if you want to avoid your mother-in-law by going to another country, why not? Can't you just? That's legal, isn't it?
Well, listen, but when he was discovered, though, maybe he knew he didn't want to incur her fury at
I
that point. So he had to
see.
say, I
Yes.
forgot, I didn't know.
No, I think it's fair to say that his mother-in-law will probably help him remember this incident.
She sounds quite formidable. She
it's-
says,
Leaving to avoid your mother. Is he getting his advice from Bernard Manning?
Yeah.
Through a medium, obviously.
yeah, he said there was I like that there was a rumour that they suggested he put about that he was on the run from the Chinese mafia. I like that he's more frightened of his mother-in-law than Chinese mafia.
No, I think it did transpire that she's in the Chinese mafia.
She spoke about it. She said, I'm not the reason for his flight. She said, I'll respect my daughter's decision whether to take him back. But we can.
Oh, God.
Good luck.
And then here's the kicker. But we cannot be living in the same house now.
Oh.
It's,
Well, that's a result for him.
Yeah, it sounds like he's getting what he's wanted.
yeah.
Oh, so they said, oh, well, you know.
She does live with them, you see. This is
Yeah.
the thing.
Difficult, isn't
So,
it?
yeah, it can be tricky.
Well, the idea that the police stop you and you say, I just can't remember anything. And then he said he was interviewed in Italy and they realised he had no memory loss whatsoever. Well, what did he... He must have really messed up that interview.
Yeah.
He must have just said, have you got memory loss? No. I mean, otherwise you just say, I don't know, I can't remember anything. It's easy, isn't it? It's the easiest fake interview in ever.
They might have tested him. They might have done some thrown some sneaky things in. Oh, do you remember when Oasis played at Neb? Oh, yeah. And then if he admitted to it, if you just brought up events in the how long did he say he lost his memory for?
No,
That's the
but
other
memory loss, it's all sort of random bits. I think
Yes.
you could remember Oasis at Nebworth and still not remember your home life.
Thing. Oh, I see.
Mother-in-law.
I'm sure there's lots of our listeners that are in
Particularly-
exactly that position.
Particularly people who saw Oasis at Nebworth.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Anyway, are they back together now? I'd like to.
Who,
I'd like
the
to
Gallaghers?
I'd
No,
like to
that will never happen.
No. Apparently, Noel reckons that he doesn't remember anything about it. Is it an happy ending to this
Oh, I
story?
don't know.
Yeah,
Well, I
you
mean,
can
there is a sort
still
of
say
happy
that.
ending insofar as that when he was found in the cathedral in Scotland, the police, the Scottish police, flew his wife and his children over.
But here,
So, you know,
Who's paying for that?
Yeah.
Of the taxpayer.
Well,
Here's the thing.
So they did all right, didn't they?
Yeah, but if they'd have flown the mother-in-law over, I mean, I would have paid money for that.
I think you'll find she's got her own broomstick. Let's end on a 70s comedy note. Okay, so
It
look,
identifies as 2018.
I can see him in a blue dress shirt, ruffled dress shirt now.
exactly. So, if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Be seeing you.
You're listening to the Frank Skinner podcast from Absolute Radio. Want your Frank fix a little sooner? Listen live every Saturday from 8 a.m. on Absolute Radio. Across the UK on digital radio, mobile apps, and in London and the South East on 105.8 FM.
Absolute Radio.